we had a discussion about exception handling. Almost exception handling completed, sir. Just there are some small add-on concepts I want to discuss related to this exception handling. Okay, what is the first add-on? First add-on concept is logging. Okay, remember that. Just logging and debugging. Logging and debugging. Sorry, logging and debugging, these two things I have to discuss, right? But anyway, sir, if you go for high-end programming, then these words matters a lot. The people who are coming from other languages, sir, I mean mostly from Java, you can able to understand, you can able to aware, sir, I'm sure. That the people who are coming from other languages, you people can aware what is the specialty of logging, debugging, like a bit high end concept, but being at core Python level, basic idea about this terminology must be required, sir. Okay, so debugging purpose next, and after that, yes, debugging sake, logging, what is the meaning of that, you should aware the basic idea. That's about my main intention, sir, so that you people can feel in the future, if you require to perform debugging, if you require to perform logging, oh, there is some facilities are there, like you should have clarity about this one, sir. Sir, now my requirement is, sir, what is the meaning of logging? What is the meaning of logging, sir? Sir, do you know, in our lab exams, I mean lab in the college days, if you are going for lab, college lab, sir, computer lab, if you are going, then automatically there is one log book is there. Regarding, I remember, right, in some colleges there is one log book by default will be there, sir. So there you have to write which system you are taking, and at what time you entered in the lab, like everything you require to write there. Correct. Anyone having this type of experience in your colleges? Log, that book is by default considered as log book. Even public internet center, okay, public cyber cafe internet centers are, even in the internet centers also, sometimes they are going to ask, sir, compulsory you require to write your information in the log, at what time, at which system you are using, like. Now I have just one small important my important question is, what is the advantage if you are going to, what is the advantage if you are going to write in the log file? Can you spell out? If you are writing something in the log book, what is the advantage we are going to get? Yes, keep record of all the things in the future. Okay, suppose today how many students are coming to this computer center are getting, I want to count. Okay, then immediately open the log file, sir, how many entries are there? Based on that, oh, today some 30 members came to the lab, which roll number people came, who are not coming to the lab. Can I able to track complete information or not? Yes, track complete information by default will be there, one thing. Next, suppose system number 8 mouse is not there. Are you getting, sir, mouse at the end of the day, we are not saying mouse at system number 8 or system number 7, then automatically at system number 7 or 8, which person used the system. Are you getting, if something goes wrong, then automatically I can able to identify the person very easily, correct or not? Rare respond, man, I can able to easily, I can able to track, oh, who is that person now, who used that system, then immediately make a phone call, or otherwise immediately call that person, and so on, like the same thing is going to be happen, right? So even for our applications also, even for our applications also, highly recommended to store, sir, information in the log file instead of log book. We are going to use the word log file. Remember this one, sir, we are going to use what? Log file. Okay, assume this is my application, sir. So a request came yet, sir, morning 10 o'clock, a request came from India, sir, for so and so purpose. This request processor get so and so time. Okay, like, sir, a new request came. Okay, a request, sir, processor, like, everything will be recorded in the log file. Remember this one, sir. everything by default will be recorded in the log file. What is the advantage, sir? What is the advantage? Suppose here assume at afternoon 12 o'clock. Okay, at afternoon 12 o'clock, my server, okay, my server shut down. Okay, server shut down, sir. So immediately I have to identify where is the problem. Server got shut down. We didn't observe. Server got shut down. Then immediately what I will do is I will open the log file. I will open the log file. Array, at 12 o'clock, either any exception reported in the log file, either any exception reported in the log file, I will check, sir. Oh, at 12 o'clock, there is some SQL exception came. Assume that there is some database related exception came. That's why my server got shut down. Oh, yet at 12 o'clock, database not supported, man. That's why the server got shut down. That's why applications are failing. Application failing to fulfill end user request. Like next again, when this problem resolved, sir, yet 145 something like 1345 something like, sir, the problem got resolved. Like everything by default will be there in the log file, so that, sir, everything we can able to track. If something goes wrong, then automatically we can able to use this log file for debugging purpose also. Are you in a position to understand, right? Yes, Arpita, same, correct. Sir, are you in a position to understand, right? So logging information, is it recommended or not recommended? Highly recommended, man. For every activity, better to keep a record, so that it is very helpful for the future purpose. Do you know, right? Okay, so our ancestors, your father or otherwise your mother, okay, wrote, assume that your father, your mother wrote, okay, this kid born so and so date, so and so date, at so and so time. Okay, like that's why now you are able to celebrate your date of birth, man. Are you getting? That's why you are able to celebrate your date of birth. Suppose you can ask your father, father, what is your date of birth? Sometimes if the father is coming from the village background, I don't know, I don't know, sir, I have approximated age is 50 years around only. Some people are going to, if I can ask my father, my father is telling, sorry, I don't know my date of birth, like, why you don't know? Because no one recorded. But if I can ask my mother, then automatically my mother is telling my date of birth is August 1st or something like. How, mother, you can aware? My grandpa wrote every event in some book, so that at what time I born, at what time my mother born, at what time my brother born, everything is available at which place, that day, what happened, everything. Sir, very recently I saw that book. Really, I felt very happy. Yes, sir, in 90s, some 80s, whenever I born, my grandfather wrote a very neatly in so and so place at so and so time, Durga got born. My mother got born at what time? Every information is there, but my father information is not there. Are getting? Because my father side grandfather not up to the mark. Are you able to understand, right? So if yes, okay, so my mother's side grandpa, my mother's father is too good. You wrote everything, man, but my father is he don't know the importance, so then automatically didn't write anything. Then automatically, if I can ask my father, father, what's about your date of birth? Sorry, I don't know, like my father is going to tell. So I hope you can able to understand, right? If the events are going to be recorded, okay, for future purpose, it is definitely helpful, sir. Even for our application also. Remember that, sir. Even for our application also, each and every application flow, each and every exception, compulsory, we have to record for the future purpose. Best example, sir, is this class is going to be recorded or not? Is this class is going to be recorded or not? Yes, it is going to be recorded. So tomorrow, if you want to listen this class again, are you in a position to listen or not? This is nothing but logging, man. I hope logging is required in our life. Logging is required in our life. Yes. Is logging is required for our applications? Yes. So the flow, application flow, sir, recording into a file is nothing but logging. Okay. What is the biggest advantages of logging? The main advantages of logging are we can use log files for debugging purposes. If something goes wrong by using log files, we can perform debugging. Debugging will become very easy, sir, if a log file is available. Remember that, sir. Okay. Sir, next, if log file is available, debugging by default will become very easy, sir. Make sure. Next, second one, sir, we can provide statistics. We can provide statistics like number of requests number of requests came for the application, how many requests came from India, how many requests came from US, so we can provide statistics information, okay, by using log files. That's why logging is very important for our applications, right? So at very top level, if you are talking about advanced level, logging is a very important, sir. So to implement logging, Python contain one inbuilt module. What is that module, sir? Logging. Can you please read this one? What is this module name? What is this module name? Module name is nothing but logging, right? Okay, this one is nothing but logging. Okay, sir, now one student is asking, Vedant, I hope, sir, what is the difference between logging and a database? Are you getting logging and a database? Sir, in the database, our application data usually we are going to store. Our application data we are going to store in the database, something like customers information, these kind of things we are going to use in our database. Are you getting? So like the customer bill information and so on. Next, so logging means, sir, flow. Application important events will be recorded in the log file. Remember this one, sir, okay? So Python contains inbuilt logging module to implement logging, right? Okay, remember that. Sir, is there any chance of third-party API like Log4j? Maybe a chance, sir. But most of the times Python is going to provide rich library. We are not required to depend on third-party libraries. Very rare, but definitely maybe a chance. Okay, Cohen, I hope clear. Yes, Java's logging is inbuilt logging is not up to the mark. That's why we are going for Log4j or some other logging frameworks. But here Python inbuilt logging is good, no problem at all. Okay, which modules are, which module we are going to use? Which module we are going to use? Logging module. What is the module name, sir? Logging module. Now, sir, logging levels. Remember this one, sir. Logging levels. Sir, we can able to provide some log information based on the severity. Regarding, we can able to provide log information based on the severity, right? So depending on type of information, severity, sir, the total log information divided into 6 levels. Remember this one. What is the total thing, sir? Divided into how many levels? 6 levels, right? Do you know? Very dangerous problem, sir. Sir, if this is a very dangerous, very critical situation is coming, then automatically such type of level is nothing but critical. Are you getting? Such type of level is nothing but critical. Internally, sir, it is going to be represented by using some number 50. But how to use, where we have to use that number, we will discuss. Don't worry, sir. So critical means, sir, do you know? Suppose a person is in hospital. Assume that one of some expert person is in hospital, sir. Now the doctor is telling the situation is very critical. Are you getting? The situation is very critical. What is the meaning of that? Critical means almost danger, gone. Okay, so may die anytime. That is so such a type of application, situation is that this event is a very critical event, sir. At any point of time, application is going to be down, sir. You can't, sir. Our application not in a position to process our request. Gone completely. Such type of information is by default considered as critical. Represents a very serious problem that needs high attention. Remember that, sir. So that represents a very serious problem that needs high attention. Okay, next, second level, sir, error. Remember that the people who knows Java, you can able to understand my words very easily, right? Okay, JUnit. Next, and after that, do you know Log4j? Java related, these words are common. Even in the Python also very advanced level, web application level, enterprise level, these words are going to be used. Just your basic idea I want to provide. Sir, what is the first one? Critical. What is the second one, sir? Error. Its value is 40. Error means problem is serious problem only, but not that much critical. Suppose very critical, in the next 1 hour maybe gone. Okay, like no, as of now, serious problem only. After 3 days or 4 days only, doctors are going to conclude. Are getting after 3 or 4 days only, doctors can able to conclude. Okay, like such type of problem is by default considered as error. So represents a serious problem. Represents a serious problem like this, right? Yes. Okay. This is the second one. Sir, error. Next, third one, warning. Yes, warning. Yes, yes, Cohen. Sir, the same. The same. You are expecting from Java. Even in Java logging, also these kind of things are there. Warning. Warning means, sir, warning means, represents a warning message. Sir, some caution must be required. It is alert to the programmer. Sir, there is a curve road. Take a bit special care. Are getting, so you are while traveling on the road, sir, you are going to see some signals. Say danger zone. Take a bit special care or something like warning. It is alert to the programmer. Its value is nothing but some 30. Remember that, sir. 30. It is just alert to the programmer. Next warning. Next info. Just the information, sir. Info is nothing but just the information. 20 represents a message with some important information. Remember that, with some important information like info. Next, debug. Debug, sir. Debug mode. Debug message means its value is the 10. Its value is the 10. What it means is represents a message with the debugging information. Remember, with the debugging information, right? Sir, sixth one, not set. What is this one, sir? Not set 0. Not set 0. 0 means represents that level is not set. Remember that. So these things are logging priorities. Vedanta Vari, I hope you can able to understand. These things are logging priorities. Sir, which type of priority information you want to store, you can set. So the corresponding levels by default is going to be there, sir. Sir, 0 means logging level not set. Logging level not set means logging may not support something like a logging level not set, except with the 0. Remember. But anyway, we never going to worry about this one. Sir, most of the times we have to talk about, sir, critical, error, warning, info, debug. Are you getting that? Something like in our Java, we can use the word info, warn, trace, fatal, debug, something like that. Correct, right? Okay, same. These things are, sir, logging priority levels. Remember, sir, how many levels of log information we can able to store, sir? 5 levels or 6 levels you can able to specify. Critical, error, warning, info, debug, right? Okay, that's all. Next up, by default, while executing Python program, only warning and higher level messages will be displayed. Are you getting right? Only by default. If you are not going to set anything, sir, if you are not going to set anything, sir, then automatically only this is the default information, either warning or high level. Only this information by default will be displayed to the log file. Remember, if you are not going to set anything, only this one by default will be there. But based on your requirement, you can set info, you can set a debug, no problem at all. But how you can set a logging level, that part I'm going to discuss. Don't worry about that. Sir, up to this is the clear for all period. What is the need of logging? How many levels of logging information is there? Levels of logging is 6 levels, right? Okay, remember. Now, my question is how to implement logging. How to implement logging? How you can able to implement logging, sir? Very simple terminology. Listen, how you can able to implement logging? So to perform logging, first we require to create a file to store messages, and we have to specify which level of messages we have to store. Remember that, sir, only two things. First, we have to specify name of the file. Sir, in which file you want to store the data. Okay, in which file. Next, which level messages you have to store, logging level. Sir, how much information, how many two sir, two types of information you have to specify, name of the log file and level messages. How you can able to specify this, right? Okay, we can do this by using basic Can I spell out, sir? What is the function name? Basic config. Remember that. What is the function name, sir? Basic config function. Basic config function of logging module. We have to aware, sir. What is the basic config function of logging module we require to use? Okay. How you can specify? To which file I have to write, sir? Very simple. Very simple. Logging data basic config. Logging.basic config. Sir, now here you have to specify file name. Are you getting? Sir, to which file you have to write? To which file we have to write, sir? Log.txt. Most of the times log file name is always log, maybe with a timestamp and so on. Log.txt. Next, level, sir. Level is equal to logging dot. Sir, by default, either warning or it's a higher level messages only, either 30 or 40 or 50, logging or error, warning or error or critical messages only. So just let me take warning. If you are not going to specify also, no problem at all. Sir, which data by default will be saved? Sir, either warning or it's a higher information only. Sir, what is this one? Sir, can you spell out? What is the function name? Respond. What is the function name we are using? Log basic config. Are you getting? What is the function name we are using, sir? Basic config is the function. This function is available in which module? This function is available in which module? Logging module, right? Okay, that's all. Next, do you know if this log file is not there? If this log file is not there, sir, if this log file is not there, okay, no problem. This log file will be created automatically. This one, okay, this log file automatically will be created, right? Next, is these words are in uppercase or not? Yes, these words are in uppercase only, Arpita. Okay, levels are always in the uppercase instead of this one. If you want, you can take 30, 40, 50 numbers I discussed, right? That number also you can able to take, no problem at all. Next, sir, after creating log file, we can write the messages to that file by using the following methods. What those methods, right? So if you want to write, sir, logging dot debug message I want to write, sir. Debug message I want to write. Okay, sir, debug message, logging dot debug message. You can write. Yes, will they be in the same file? Yes, all the messages happily you can able to write to the same file. Remember that. Okay, logging dot debug message. Okay, like next one after that, logging dot info. Logging dot info, like info message will be written to, sir, whatever message you are passing argument, by default it will be written. So sir, logging dot warning. Next one after that, logging dot error, logging dot critical. So function names is a level names only. The difference is here lowercase, right? Debug message, can you please write? Next one after that, info message, can you please write? Warning message, can you please write? Like, sir, here level compulsory, here you have to use what? Uppercase. But here lowercase means these things are by default considered as function names. Remember this one. These lowercase is nothing but function names. Observe that. So by using these function names, we can able to write the corresponding message to this log file. First, aware, sir, how to configure. Okay, log file. Next and after that, how you can able to write this information. Okay, clear? What functions are there? Next, how many levels are there? What is the advantage of logging? A small chota program we will discuss. Don't worry about that. Don't worry, just a small, just how these functions are going to be work. Sir, where is the log file? I will show. Don't worry about that. Clear? Are you able to understand? Sir, once I will go for a small example, then you can able to get much clarity about this one, sir. Okay, sir, now let me go for a small, write a Python program to create a log file and writing warning and higher level messages. Sir, write a Python program to create a log file and write warning and higher level messages. Higher level messages. Sir, can you please tell higher level messages? Warning and higher level. Warning and higher level means warning, error, critical. Remember this one, sir. Warning and higher level means warning, error, and critical. Let me go for a small Python program. Yes, sir, this is my test.py. How I can able to do that? First point, import logging. Import logging. Can you please import logging module? Next, logging dot basic config. Regarding what is the function name, sir? Logging dot basic config. Next, file name is equal to log dot txt. File name is equal to log dot txt. Level is equal to logging dot. Sir, which level we require? Can you spell out, sir? Logging dot which level? Either warning or higher level. That's why. Can you please specify warning? Okay, that's all. Sir, even log.txt file is not available. No problem at all. This line is going to create. But where it's going to be created, sir? In the current working directory. What is our current working directory, sir? Okay, d:durg. Yes, observe that. What is our current working directory? d:durga classes. Regarding in the current working directory, by default it will be created, sir. I will show. I will open that file anywhere. Right? Sir, let me cross check. In the d:durga classes, currently I'm looking about d:durga classes. Either in log.txt file is there or not? Not there, man. Not there. Okay. If you want, sir, dir log.txt. Is it there or not? Not there. There is no such type of file. But if I execute this program, definitely it's going to create no problem at all, sir. Okay. Now just for flow purpose I'm taking, sir. I'm not. It is just for flow purpose I'm taking, sir. What I'm trying to take? Print of Python logging demo. Python logging demo. Just sir, this is the output I'm expecting. But the data should return to log file. Which data, sir? Okay, logging dot debug, logging dot debug message, debug message. I have to take debug logging dot debug. Sir, which message? Which message you want to write? Sir, this is debug message. Just observe that. This is debug message. I'm going to write, sir. This is debug message. Okay, like same way you can able to take all the levels, right? No problem at all. Debug info. Can I spell out, sir? Info. This is info message. Next, what is the next one, sir? Debug info. Warning. Debug info. Warning. Next, error. Next, and after that critical. Error. Next, and after that critical. Like this, right? Info, warning. Next, and after that error, and then critical, like this, right? Okay, that's all. So if I run this program, which data by default will be added to log file? Either warning or it's a higher level. Correct or not? Either warning or it's higher level. Which data will be added? Only this data will be added to the log file. Remember this one, sir. Only this data by default will be added to the log file because you specify required logging level is warning. Remember this one. Even this log file is not there. No problem. This line is going to create. Now have a look once. Py test.py. Can you please observe? Python logging demo is my output because I wrote the print statement. Because something like, sir, where this data by default will be there? Let me open. What is the file name? What is the file name? Log.txt. It will be created or not? It will be created or not? Yes, it will be created. No problem at all. Now log.txt is coming, sir. Can you please observe? Warning message is there. Error message is there. Critical message is there. Clear? Are you able to understand? Okay. Sir, now assume that if you are not specifying level, what will happen, sir? I want to check. If you are not specifying the level, let me remove this one. Is it going to be accepted or not? We will check, sir. If I'm not specifying that, sir, now warning message by default. Some small change I'm taking because if this change by default will be reflected or not, I want to check, sir. Okay. Now have a look once. Accepted. Let me open log file. In the log file, have you observed? Now again because I'm executing again. Now that's why continuation data by default will be displayed. Everyone can ever say what is the default logging level? What is the default logging level? Respond. What is the default logging level? Warning. So that's why either warning or it's either warning or its higher level by default will be displayed. Remember that, sir. Okay. Now have a look once, sir. Sir, I don't want warning. I don't want warning or its higher level. I want to debug or its higher level. I want to debug or its higher level. What I have to do is level is equal to logging dot okay debug, logging dot debug like this I'm taking, sir. Sir, we are not getting any error. Then why warning error and critical message is printed to the log file? Because we are using this message, man. Are you getting? We are using Onkar. We are using the corresponding methods. That's why it is going to be added. Don't feel that only in the case of error it will be added, because intentionally we are calling the methods. That's why. But where we have to use this information inside except block. Remember that inside except block, if an exception rises, then automatically add these lines. Then automatically the corresponding data by default will be added to the log file. Onkar, are you able to get? Yes, that is that example also I will discuss. Don't worry about that. Sir, clear? Just my intention is, are you seeing the data will be written to the log file or not? That is the only thing you require to check. Okay. Now observe, sir, here logging dot debug I took. Logging dot debug. Now total data, either debug info, like, because debug info like this. Have you observed, right? Debug, okay, info, warning, error, critical, complete information by default will be saved. Let me execute. Yes, let me open the log file. Let me open the log file. Have you observed, right? Debug, info, warning, error, critical, total data by default will be displayed. Remember, I hope you are in a position to understand, right? Okay, that's all. This is just the basic idea about the logging concept. Remember that, sir. But I have one small doubt, sir. Sir, here timestamp is not there. Are you getting? Timestamp is not there. Root means it is something like main part of the program. From the main part of the program, this line is printed something like. So now here we can, here no date, no time, no IP address, all these. Sir, if you want, you can able to configure at what time this message is going to write, on what date this message is going to write, whenever the request is coming from which IP address. Okay, complete information by default you can able to write. That is advanced level of logging. Just here whatever basic config is there, here we require to add much more options, but my intention is just to create basic idea. That's why don't worry much about that. Okay, up to this is the clear. Some person is asking where is the date and time. Yes, date and time, that facility is also there, no problem at all. Here we require to just check. If you open the Google and just check for one or two extra options, then date and time by default will be there, advanced logging, right? Okay, like next, sir, okay, sir, you are writing something, but when we have to write this one, I want to store exception information to the log file, sir. I want to store exception information to the log file. How you can able to do that? Okay, like just observe that, sir. Why debug in red color is, this is the problem with the edit plus editor. Guru Prasad, are you getting? This is I'm using which editor? Edit plus. That edit plus is not properly recognizing debug. Okay, that's the problem with this one only. Okay, now here observe that. So how to write Python program exceptions to the log file? That's about my target, sir. How you can able to write Python program exceptions to the log file? That's about my requirement, right? So very simple. Okay, logging dot exception of message. If you can use exception method, now exception information by default will be written to log file. Remember that, sir. Sir, can you please explain? Can you please explain with a small chota example so that we can able to get clearly, like you may ask. A simple example, sir. Let me go for that. How you can able to store exception information to the log file? How you can able to store program flow to the log file? Remember that. A small meaningful example I want to go for that, sir. Sir, now can I keep these two lines? Can I keep these two lines? Okay. Now I'm taking debug or info. No problem. Any level you can able to take. Sir, these two lines I hope you can able to understand. Okay, not required to keep much explanation, right? Sir, now what I want to take is just the, now listen a bit very carefully, sir. Logging dot info, just the information message, man, just information, just information. A new request came. A new request came, sir. Okay, a new request came, because of that it is executing. A new request came. Next, try. Okay, try. Sir, x is equal to int of input of enter some first number. Assume that, sir. Enter first number, like I'm taking. Next, y is equal to enter second number. Enter second number, like this I'm taking, sir. Sir, two numbers, x and y. Now I'm trying to take print of x by y. Okay, no problem at all. It's going to print if I provide 10, second number is the 2, then automatically 10 by 2, 5.0 we are going to get. Sir, sometimes you may provide 0, sometimes you may provide ten, then may be a chance of exceptions, right? So except 0 division error. Okay, 0 division error. Okay, yes, MSG. Have you remembered? Somewhere we discussed about this one. To print exception information, sir, what I will take is, if it is coming, sir, print cannot divide with 0, cannot divide with 0. It will be displayed to the console. But one entry I want to store to the log file also. Logging dot exception of message. Wonderful. Now this is just for the end user purpose I'm keeping. Just for the future purpose, this exception information I'm saving in the log file also. Sir, if this program is going to be executed 1,000 times, how many errors are going to come? All those errors by default will be saved permanently in the log file. Remember this one, sir. Sir, same way I'm getting except value error. Are you getting? Except value error as message, like this, right? Except value error as message. Sir, print off, enter only into values. Enter only into values, like this, right? Sir, now, sir, this information I have to store exception. Okay, this information I have to store exception of message. Are you getting exception of message, like this, right? Sir, that's all. Next, the logging dot info, just the information message. What I want to write? Request processing completed. Request processing completed, like this I'm taking, sir. Observe a beautiful example to understand basic idea, sir. What is the logging? How it is going to be there, and so on. Sir, whenever a request is coming, then automatically, sir, this line will be returned to log file. Next, if any exception information is there, then automatically these lines by default is going to write the exception information to the log file. Okay, observe that, sir. Without logging, with the logging, what is the difference? You can able to see, sir. Okay, let me run again. Let me run this code. Enter first number 10. Enter second number 2. Okay, 5.0. Perfect. Enter first number 20. Enter second number 33. Okay, it's going to provide 6 point and so on. Enter first number, sir, 45. Enter second number 3. Okay, 15.0, like this. Okay, like now I'm writing enter first number 10, enter second number 0, then automatically can't divide with 0. Next, enter first number, sir, 10, enter second number 3, then automatically enter only into values and so on. That's all, completed, right? Now, at the end of the day, I have to know how many number of requests came for this application. Regarding how many number of requests came for this application, I want to know, sir, where that information is available. If it is just a standalone application, I'm sending the request from the console, I mean command prompt, that's why I can able to tell. But assume if it's the web application, from anywhere the request is going to come, where that information should be there. Open the log file. Okay, open the log file. Now, can you please cross check, sir? Where are you seeing anywhere? Are you seeing anywhere? Any request came? A new request came? a request processing completed, because first time no error, no error. That's why again, second time, again second time, observe, any request came completed. Next again third time, any request came completed. Again fourth time, sir, a new request came, but at that time we have zero division error. Are you getting? We have zero division error, sir. For fourth request fails, we are getting zero division error. Okay, like next request processing completed. Next, even in the fifth request also, invalid literal value error, by default we are going to get like this. Sir, now complete information, is it available in the log file or not? Can I able to tell how many number of requests came? Respond. Can I able to tell how many number of requests came or not? Array, can I able to tell or not? Yes, after 10 days also, you open this file. After 10 days also, you open this file, then you can able to say, yes, how many number of requests came. Okay. Next, you can able to say at what time, I mean, sir, which exception came? Okay, like you can able to see, sir, how many times zero division error came? How many times value error came? Complete information by default will be there in the log file. This kind of concept is nothing but logging. For every web application or for every application, this logging must be required. Remember that, sir. Are you able to get right, sir? Okay, sir, what is the size of this log file? This log file keep on going to be adding and so on. But in real time, what will happen is, most of the time, Suresh, most of the times in the real time, what will happen is, yet sir, there are some cron jobs are going to run at every mid of the night. Almost whenever date is changing, automatically, sir, the file will be sir, just stopped. A new file will be created for every new date. Remember that. Are you getting? So for every, a new file by default will be created for every once a date is going to be changed. That's why most of the times in real time, the log file names are log. Today date is what? 11th, right? Log. Okay. Log underscore something like 10/04/2018.txt something like. Okay. Sir, on 18th, how many number of requests came? Open this one. There are some cron jobs we are going to write automatically, which are responsible, sir, to cut the log file up to the freshly open a new log file for the next day. Automatically, mid of the night, it will become 11. Are you getting? Mid of the night, it will become 11. Sir, next mid of the night, it will become 12. Like this. Okay, it is going to be there by default. Are you getting? Yes, sorry, it is like a camera recording only recent. Yes. Okay, your CC cameras, how it is going to be recorded? Are getting only recent. But in the log file, all these logs by default will be there, sir. Sir, server admin or system admin, what he is going to do for every 6 months or for every 1 year, the old logs he is going to clear. Unnecessary and the file system, these 2 year before logs, 3 year before logs, usually not required, so we can able to clear. Okay, that who is going to take care? System admin by default is going to take care, sir. Are you able to understand, right? Okay, that's a yes. You can. Yeah, it may be text file. You can able to try with Excel also. But if it is Excel, maybe a chance of some binary, right? We maybe a chance. So for that, either this one is going to provide support, or otherwise we require to go for another third party thing. Like you can able to check Divya. That's all, sir. Everyone got basic idea. Everyone got basic idea of logging. Sir, with this, just my intention is not to clear, not to explain full-fledged, just the basic idea in real time. For web applications and enterprise application, there is one special concept will be there, just like a logging like this, right? So just to take a bit special care. Exception handling is the different, logging is the different. Correct or not? Sir, don't feel exception handling is a different concept, logging is the different. Correct or not? Okay. Logging means boss, every activity can you please record. Even something goes wrong, this information will be helpful. That is nothing but what? Logging, sir. But exception handling means, so if something goes wrong, our program should not be terminated abnormally. We have to define alternative way. That thing is by default considered as exception handling. Most of the people are going to feel exception handling means logging means exception handling. No, both words are different, both activities are different. Clear? Up to this? Okay, that's all. Sir, one more word I have to introduce for you people, right? So that you may get much clarity. This is also a bit just awareness purpose only. This part also I'm going to discuss. What is that? Is debugging. Are you getting that? What is these concepts are? Debugging. So again, debugging, exception handling, logging. All the three things are related to some errors you are feeling, but all the words are different. Remember that, sir. Okay, activities, different activities only. Even seems to be similar, but a different activities only. Okay, what is the meaning of debugging? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of debugging, sir? What is the bug? What is the bug? Sir, any testing student is there in this classroom? Testing student. Huh? Any testing domain student is there in this classroom? Usually in the morning batch, morning I'm handling Selenium classes, right? Yeah, sir, Arpita, in our testing, sir, usually in the morning, I'm going to discuss, I'm usually handling manual Selenium under testing. So what is the defect? Very important question for the testing. What is defect or what is the bug? What is the defect or bug? Like according to their terminology, yes. Okay, very simple, sir. Sir, any sir, what we call mismatch, the deviation of mismatch between do you know expected result expected result and the original result. Are you getting expected result and the original result? If any mismatch is there, then automatically it is considered as bug. Correct, right, Arpita? Yes. Are you getting what is the actual result? I mean, expected result and actual result. Okay, actual result. This thing is by default considered as, sir, defect or bug. It is related to the testing, sir. So luckily, I'm handling Selenium and manual classes also in the morning time, so that these words really good domain to learn. Okay, like so mismatch between expected result and actual. Sir, what is the meaning? This is bug. Sir, now once a tester identified the bug, sir, just a matter of 1 minute, observe that. Observe a bit very carefully, sir. So development team, we are developers, right? Okay, development team, what they are going to develop the application. Sir, once a development team is going to develop the application, now this development team hand over this application to the testers. At very top level, I'm telling, sir, this is called build. I hope the people who are working in the companies, you can able to understand what is the build. Build is nothing but internal, sir, format, maybe ER file or where file, something like build. So development team is going to hand over this application to the testing team. Testing team will perform testing. If they identified any mismatch or defect or bug, immediately, I mean, they will update that information to the development team. What the development team is going to do, they will do the required changes, sir, and they will hand over to the modified build. Are you getting right? Sir, here, once a testing team identify some defects or bugs, immediately hand over to the development team. Now, what the development team has to do? What the development team has to do? The development team has to analyze where is the bug. They have to fix that bug. Are you getting? The process of identifying and fixing the bug is by default considered as debugging. Remember that, sir. Debugging is the responsibility of, sir, developers, sir, not responsibility of testers. Remember that, sir. Okay, so rectified. So we have the process of, sir, where is the problem? Something goes wrong, man. Where is the problem? In our code, where is the problem? We have to identify. We have to identify and we have to fix that. This problem is by default considered, yeah, debugging. Is it clear for all operate? What's the meaning of debugging? Yes. Are you getting right? So something goes wrong, man. Something goes wrong. Where is the problem? Where is the problem? That thing by default we have to identify and we have to fix that. This is nothing but what? Debugging. Remember that, sir. But make sure, sir, make sure debugging is the concept which is going to work before hand over the project to the client. Remember that, sir. Okay. So while performing testing, tester to developer, developer to testing. Here only debugging terminology applicable. Once sir, this is AUT, I mean, so acceptance testing completed, right? Okay, once completed, then automatically, you know, hand over to the client, move to the production. Then there is no word like debugging most of the times where we can able to perform dev environment, test environment, but not in okay, this is dev production environment, right? Okay, remember this one. Most of the times debugging is the terminology applicable either in dev environment or test environment, but not in the production. Once move to the production, then automatically there is no such type of terminology like debugging. Remember that. Clear? Are you able to understand what the meaning of debugging? Sir, I developed one program, but I'm not getting my expected result. Something goes wrong. Then where is the problem? I have to identify. I have to fix that problem. This process is by default considered debugging. Clear? Are you getting? Next, exception handling. Exception handling means while writing the code only, better to have alternatives. Even something goes wrong, you have already alternative, it is going to execute, so that normal termination is nothing but exception handling. Next, sir, storing each and every activity, flow of the events in our application is nothing but logging. Okay, so complete different terminology you people should aware, sir. Debugging, sir. Now usually how you can perform debugging, sir? How you can perform debugging? Most of the times in many programming languages, we are always going to use the word print. We are always using, if it is the Java, SOP statement the people are going to use. Correct, right? SOP statement the people are going to use. Okay, like but here, sir, print is the thing. So what I will take here, just observe. Yes, small terminology, small example I'm going to take, sir. So what I will take here is, suppose here just this is my program, sir. Assume that this is the program. Like this, I have some program. If everything goes fine, man, yeah, just x value should be 10. Is x value the 10 or not? Or otherwise print of hello I'm going to take. So if hello is going to print to the console, oh, clear indication that up to this there is no problem at all. Are getting? If hello is going to print to the console up to that line, there is no problem at all. Everyone can able to understand. Now maybe the problem is in the remaining lines only. Remember, like sir, now in the remaining lines also, just I'm taking print hi something like I'm going to take, sir. Assume if this one is also going to print pass, there is no problem even up to this line also. Maybe the problem is in the remaining lines. Are you able to understand, right? Most of the time we are always going to use print statement while performing debugging. Correct? Do you have any such type of habit? Array, respond, man. Have you ever used even for small practice programs also in Ameerpet or otherwise in the regular classes? For small practice programs also, if it is a Java program, assume if it is the Java program, sir, there are huge lines of the code is there, sir. Assume that, sir, I'm not getting my expected output. Then in the middle, suddenly what I'm taking, sir, system dot out dot println, sir, just Sunny, something like I'm taking, sir. Array, if Sunny is going to print to the console, oh, clear indication was, oh, the control is coming up to this line, there is no problem at all. The control is coming up to this line, there is no problem at all. Maybe the problem in the remaining lines of the code only, like you can able to identify. So very common way of performing debugging in Java is the SOP statement. In the Python is nothing but print statement. Clear? Are you getting basic idea? Hope you people are getting basic idea, right? Yes. So what is debugging? What is the debugging? What is the meaning of debugging? Just observe that. What is the meaning of debugging? I mean, how you can perform debugging, right? So the process of identifying and fixing the bug is called what? Debugging, sir. Something goes wrong, man. Something goes wrong. I'm not getting my expected output, sir. Suppose assume that I implemented I implemented one square functionality, right? Just observe that. I implemented square it functionality. Square it functionality of x. Just observe. Return, sir, 2 into x I took, sir. Assume that. Here, don't feel that only one line. Assume that some 1,000 lines of the 10,000 lines of the code is there, sir. Okay, like now, sir, I'm calling print of square it off is nothing but print of square it off. Some 4 I'm taking. Sir, what is my expected functionality? Yes, Arpita, Ashwini, what is my expected functionality? Can you spell out, sir? If it is a square it functionality, what is my expected output, sir? My expected output should be 16. But if this function, what it's going to do, sir, it's going to return only 8. This function is going to return 8. Oh, something goes wrong. Okay, you didn't write the code properly. There is somewhere bug is there. Now you have to analyze the code. And where is the problem? You have to identify that. So this process is nothing but debugging. Are you able to get? Sir, now what I will take? It is a very small code, right? That's why I will check. Hey, why it is not coming 16, man? Why it is coming 8? Like I will check. Then immediately, here I took 2 into x, man. No. You should not take 2 into x. You have to take x into x. Are you able to understand, right? We have to take x into x. So that's all. This is nothing but what this one is nothing but what? Okay, debugging process. Clear at very top level, sir. So don't feel only 2 lines of the code. In real time, 1,000 lines of the code is there, sir. So we require to analyze where something goes wrong. You know, most of the times, instead of greater than symbol, we are always going to think somewhere else about IPL movie, IPL or otherwise cinema. We are going to keep less than symbol. Are you getting it? Instead of greater than symbol, somewhere we are going to take less than symbol. Are you getting it? Instead of taking one record, sometimes we may take, by mistake, multiple records. Are you getting it? Sir, instead of considering sender, by mistake, I may consider receiver. Are you getting? I may consider receiver. I have to transfer 10,000 rupees from my account to some other account. But at one time, the transfer is going to be happen to some other account, but not my intended account. Oh, somewhere something goes wrong. You have to identify and you have to fix that problem. This thing is nothing but debugging. Ashwini, are you able to understand? Yes, now you should not use toda. Are you getting? Are you able to understand, right? What is the meaning of debugging? Debugging means somewhere something goes wrong. We have to identify where is the problem. We have to identify, we have to fix that. That thing is by default considered debugging concept. Next, the most common way of debugging is usage of print statement. Correct or not? The most common way of debugging is usage of print statement. Remember that, sir. So it's a very common. Even in any other language also, even in Java also, man, our hand is always going for debugging. Here, hello, I will keep on SOP statement. Is it printing or not? Like I will check. Are SOP of X, is the X value the 10 or not? I will check. Such a type of thing is nothing but we can very commonly use it, right? But there is some problem is there. With this approach, right? There is some problem is there with this approach. What is the problem? Anyone can you please tell what is the problem is? Suppose why I'm adding these lines. Anyone can you please tell? Suppose assume that. Sir, this is about my statements, right? Assume that these are my statements. Statement 1, statement 2, like dot. There is some statements are there. Now, sir, somewhere something goes wrong. So here, sir, hello will be printed or not for debugging purpose. I'm adding some print statement, print of hi, like this, right? So somewhere just I'm taking print of, so hello, hi, something like I'm taking. Sir, very common. Now I will identify, sir, it is printing, sir. Oh, it is printing means, so there is no problem up to this, man. The control is coming. There is no problem up to this. Control is coming, man. Keep one more print statement. Execute again. Sir, no problem, sir. It is also printing. Oh, can you please, sir, keep one more print statement and check. Now, sir, if I run this one, it is not going to print. Oh, clear indication the control is not coming to this place. So why the control is not coming to this place, man? Where is the problem? You can analyze this code and we can able to fix it. Sir, somewhere instead of less than greater than symbol, by mistake I use a less than symbol. That's why the flow stops here only. This thing is nothing but debugging. Clear? Are you getting? Now, what is the very common way of debugging, sir? The very common way of debugging is usage of what? The print statement. But make sure, sir, there is a bigger problem is there with this print statement. The problem is, I identified, sir. I identified the bug. Why here instead of less than symbol, I took greater than symbol. Sir, now I changed that. Sir, less than symbol only. Now it's working properly. Hand over to the client. Are getting working properly, hand over to the client. Then the client trying to execute happily, it's going to run no problem at all. But if the client open console, compulsory these print statements also will be displayed or not. These print statements also will be displayed. It is a bigger problem, man. Because why you added these print statement? To identify the bug. But after debugging, you have to remove these print statement. If you are not going to remove these print statement at runtime, these print statements also will be executed. Unnecessary memory waste and some unnecessary statements we are going to execute. Response time and performance is going to be down. Correct or not? Okay. So this is the problem with the SOP statement or print statements. Remember that, sir. Okay. Debugging purpose, SOP or print statements not recommended to use, because after fixing the problem, compulsory we have to delete these print statements. Otherwise, they will execute at runtime. Even after handover to the client also, client is going to give left and right. Array, what is the meaning of hello? What is the meaning of hi? Why you are writing these extra statements? Like a client may give left and right. That's why never recommended to perform debugging by using which statements, right? Remember, print statements. Then how you can able to perform debugging, sir? Very simple. How you can able to perform debugging? Very simple, sir. We should go for assert statements. Are you getting that? We should go for what? Assert statements, sir. In Java, assertions concept is there, which was came in the 1.4 version. Remember? Have you remembered in Java? Assert statements are there. Even in Python also, assert statement is there, sir, which can be used for debugging purposes. Remember that. Sir, how you can able to use debugging purpose? Sir, very simple. What is the main advantage of assertions when compared with the print statements? What the main advantage of assertions when compared with the print statement? Very simple, sir. Assert statements, you can add any number, no problem at all. Any number, no problem at all. These assert statements, after fixing the bug, we are not required to delete. By default, assert statements by default will be disabled on the client machine. Are you getting that? By default, assert statements will be disabled on the client machine. That's why, so these assert statements won't be executed on the client machine. Remember that, sir, won't be executed on the client machine. That's why, like your print statement, you are not required to remove. Happily, you can write any number of assert statements. You can leave that even after fixing the bug also. Clear? Somewhere you may have Java -a option, but in Python, I don't think such a type of options. But anyway, assert always going to return so true. If it fails, then we will stop like it's. So like that with the example, let me explain, sir. Clear? Are you able to understand what the need of assert statements, right? Okay. Now, sir, for which purpose we can use assert statements? For which purpose we can use assert statements? Assert statements can be used just for debugging. Remember that single word, sir. For which purpose we can use assert? For debugging purposes, we can use assert statement. That's all, sir. Okay. How many types of assert statements are there? Remember, how many types of assert statements are there? Two types, right? What is the first one? Simple assert. What is the first one? Simple version. Can you spell out what is the second one, sir? First one is the simple. What is the second one? What is the second? Respond, man. First one is the simple. What is the second one? Complex. Why you are always thinking about complex, man? Very simple version. Very, very simple version, which is also known as augmented version. Again, a very simple version, which is also known as augmented version. Remember that, okay? So this part we will discuss in the next session. Don't worry, sir. Matter of another 15-20 minutes with example, small example I will discuss, so that you people can feel more comfortable, right? And immediately we are going to start. Sir, what is the next topic? File handling concept we are going to discuss, right? Okay, that's all, sir.